Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nerd Wars. Wow, 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 wow. I'm Andy Signor. So happy to be here. It's your Thursday night, 9 p.m. So happy to see so many familiar names in the chat. We got James, Taylor, Anthony. What's up, Bunda? I see Absent Good. I saw Marcos earlier. I saw Flamin' Dragons. Jay Smalls, Reach for the Skies. Captain Smirk. We got to end with the New York Rangers fan. Steph is in the building. So good to see you, Steph. So many others of you. Thank you guys, Sathwick. Thank you guys for tuning in early and being in the waiting room as we got started. I appreciate all you guys for being here. Tonight, we got lots of fun topics. We got a big double event. I want to talk about this new Batman story. Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton are returning. Let's talk more about it. Also, I want to talk about, should other Batmen come back? At this point, is it unfair to say Christian Bale or Val Kilmer or even George Clooney? Or Will Arnett? Should he swing in a Lego Batman at a certain point in this Flash film? Let's talk about all the possibilities. And our favorite viewer, Ray Fisher, I'm sure you're watching tonight. I'm happy to have you. Wish you'd just call in so we could have an adult conversation, the two of us. But you don't seem to want to. Any open invite anytime. I want to talk about his latest news because he just announced that there's an investigation going on via WarnerMedia. But look, I got thoughts about it. Of course, some people are going to take this out of context and think I'm being a jerk, but I got to be myself. I got to tell you what I think, and I got some thoughts. Before we get there, though, I got to invite my guest to the show. I got Lewis from Nerd Report.
What up, everyone? I'm ready for DC action this weekend. I'm so happy. Look, I got Christopher Reeves behind me. I got Joker. I got the entire crew, man. Shazam in the house. I'm so excited, Andy.
Yeah, you got a nice new camera there, it looks like, too. Your DSLR is looking better than usual.
Yeah, I got to keep up with you guys, man. I got to do something. So I put up the house for sale and I bought a camera.
I fixed my lights. Now you're making me realize I'm too dark. But I can at least see you guys.
Never be too dark.
Good to have you, man. And then my Alfred to my Batman, Mr. Chris Walker, is in the building. How you doing, Chris?
What's going on, guys? Always a pleasure to be here.
Always good to have you both. So it's fun. We're going to start with us three talking tonight, and then we may open up the floodgates with you guys later in the show. That's how this works every Thursday night. And Nerd Warriors, if you're a Nerd Warrior or you join tonight as a Nerd Warrior, announce yourself in the chats. I will later in the show. I'm going to call upon one of you to join the gauntlet here, and let's do a fight together to inspire some of you guys. My big investor and Nerd Warriors, I want to give you guys some more perks. And then all you members, I'm planning to load lots more members-only content, stream of conscious straight to you, where I don't give a crap about what people hear. That way I can speak honestly, have some fun with you guys, and do stories I might not report. So thank you to all of you who've joined. Let's get to tonight's show, though. All right, so first up is this obviously massive news of Ben Affleck returning, and I think even bigger news, confirming that Michael Keaton's in. To know that both of these Batmen are going to be making an appearance in Flash, I mean, I'm stoked. They've saved fandom potentially for me. This would have been a cool reveal to have live, but this reveal, if they confirm this on Saturday, then I feel like, all right, cool, that was a really cool announcement. We can get excited. But I mean, this is confirmed. Andy Muschietti is confirming it with quotes in Vanity Fair. So this is no like speculation, right, Lewis? This is a clear, sealed, done, and delivered.
It's done. It should have been announced at Fandom. I don't know why we got the Val Kilmer, the what's it called, Michael Keaton reveal before the movie came out. It would have gave me chills. But I think it's bigger news. Ben Affleck. I'm not a real big fan of the Tim Burton Batmans, but seeing him on the big screen would have been amazing.
I might have to do that fight. Which is bigger news here, because I disagree with you wholeheartedly. But Lewis, I got a theory. You want to hear my theory?
Let's do it, man.
Why did we hear this a day early? Why do you think an outlet like Vanity Fair and Anthony Bresnikon, who knows what he's doing? I don't believe this was just some like, I'm going to outscoop them 2 days before before Fandom. He got approval to drop this. Why do you think he got approval to drop this, Lewis?
Two theories. One, because they don't want to take away the momentum from the Batman, and then the one you think is because Ray Fisher dropped the tweet.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me either. I just know how
I told him I had a conspiracy theory. Well, here's the deal, because guys, follow-up story today. Less important story if you ask me, because Warner dropped a bomb and was like, see ya, yay. Because, now look, I know I seem like a lot of people will just clip me and seem like I'm just a complete ignoramus jerk, insensitive prick who doesn't care about Ray Fisher if he had problems on this set. But hear me out, please, the rational ones. I know the irrational, crazy ones are going to have a field day. F them, block them. I don't care about them. But the rational ones who are here like, Andy, why are you hear me out? Because here's the one thing I will say in Ray's defense. This felt like defense. This felt like a move to make to be like, oh my God, he's doing it again, as Jody predicted. He's really out there again 2 days before our big, huge DC event that we're putting all of our, things into. Really, you're out now making this announcement. And the reality is, he chose to make that announcement now. I know a lot of people out there. Well, no. Let's look at Deadline's coverage of this article because I think it's important. WarnerMedia investigating Justice League production following Ray Fisher's comments. Now, any other slow news day, this would have probably been spread even further. But because we got to talk about the Batman, less of a big deal in my opinion. But here we go. Deadline has so before we get there, I guess it's important. Ray dropped two new tweets. After 5 weeks of interviews with various cast and crew, WarnerMedia has officially launched an independent third-party investigation to get to the heart of the toxic and abusive work environment created during Justice League reshoots. This is a massive step forward. And then he followed up, I believe this investigation will show that Geoff Jons, notice how Geoff Jons is now first. Joss was always the first one, but now he's sort of changing it to put Geoff first. Notice, I believe the investigation will show that Geoff Jons, Joss Whedon, Jon Berg, and others grossly abused their power during the uncertainty of AT&T's merger with Time Warner. Thank you, WarnerMedia and AT&T, for making strides to ensure a safer workplace for all. A equals, greater than E. Accountability is, better, important than entertainment. So that's what he said, okay? Now, of course, DC fans, Ray fans, the Borg life out there is like, oh, yay, finally. And I saw some people trying to tag me, Lewis. They're like, see, I can't wait to see Jody and Andy try to defend this one. Well, I'm gonna, okay, because, sorry, still no evidence. And what's interesting to me is this article here goes on to sort of say, yes, Deadline confirmed that WarnerMedia, because I was waiting for WarnerMedia or someone else to come forward to confirm this, not just from Ray. But Deadline did confirm with WarnerMedia and that has had an ongoing investigation being conducted, production since Ray Fisher tweeted back on July 1st about the gross abusive conduct on set. By no means was the investigation recently launched. Notice these keywords that I think a lot of people on there are ignoring. This was not announced today. Yay announced this today. This was going on back in July 1st. This started on July 1st, so keep that in mind when we talk about the timing of Ray Fisher and when he does these things, because you got to pull back. What's the reasoning? What's happening? Why would he do this? What happened? It's very important because even Deadline is pretty much siding with Warner. Here say, well, yeah, there's been an ongoing investigation since the beginning. By no means was the investigation recently launched. I understand despite Ray Fisher's recent tweets today, which we expound on below, which he confirms here, right? And then we got the tweets again, and then a source with knowledge at the studio tells us that no findings have been made yet. And to preserve the integrity of the investigation, the company will not conduct its investigation in the public sphere. There's no specific timeline to the investigation other than being thorough and efficient. WarnerMedia has not prejudged Joss Whedon or Justice League producers Geoff Jons or Jon Berg, and I hear that the inquiry is not limited to them. Again, that's a very important paragraph there that a lot of people want to sort of ignore because they're just reading Ray's tweets. Today, Fisher tweeted after 5 weeks, we got it. He continued, I believe this investigation will do that. Whedon a step to finish, then they give us all the background. There's nothing really there. But Lewis, I don't want to talk about this too long because I've talked about it a lot. I've given him way too much attention on this. But to me, this is still much ado about nothing. He chose to announce this 2 days before Fandom. Why? He clearly knew this investigation was going.
You said per that article, it's been 5 weeks since the report was submitted.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And he waited till now?
Correct.
Okay, I can't hear you.
Andy, you muted yourself.
Hold on. Now, can you hear me now? Correct. Yeah, that's correct. He had this evidence they've been doing this investigation since the first tweet happened, and he's just now announcing that it's been happening.
Let me get a few things out of the way right now. Jody said yay. All right. Yes, I interviewed Ray Fisher once for Justice League. He was a nice guy. I liked his performance. I liked the movie thing. We've been in a Bud Light thing locked down for a long time. DC fans have not had the L's they deserve for a long time. Some people even think since 78 Superman. We deserve, everyone watching here, everybody in fandom deserve something to put their minds away, to keep sanity. The people at Warner Brothers have worked very hard, the PR company, to keep the momentum and keep their jobs. If this event fails, heads will roll. All right. They failed with Godzilla. Unfortunately, I love that movie. They haven't done well. They deserve this win. Please, Mr. Fisher, could you please keep the stuff in court or after the event so we could, fans, have a nice weekend? It's been a long time. I hope justice is served either way. Is that fair?
Yeah, you know what? Well said, Lewis. That's exactly where I think. To me, I'm just a little bit more angrier than you because he's been doing this for weeks.
Well, I'm angry, but I'm keeping it inside. We need this time to celebrate.
Correct.
The Snyder Cut. We need to celebrate the Snyder Cut. We need to celebrate the Batman. We need to celebrate everything. And these people working hard at Warner Brothers with the PR. I know them, a lot of them personally. They need the win.
Well, but okay? Lewis, you're right. And thank you for being rational and sane in this. You tried to be, I know. But, guys, Ray is saying, after 5 weeks of interviews, Warner has officially launched an independent third-party investigation. That's a lie, according to Deadline and the sources. Now, of course, someone could be inside Warner or whatever, could be lying and making the saving face now, but I'm sorry, man. Too much of this is weird. Why wouldn't they have properly launched something then? And then if they didn't, by Ray's logic, it took him 5 weeks of interviews that he says he's been doing to try and basically talk them into looking into this. It took 5 weeks of them to do this? I'm confused.
2 days before Fandom.
And then 2 days,
that's
exactly.
What I don't
2 days before Fandom, they just told, so we're supposed to believe Ray. That 2 days before Fandom, they alerted you, hey, Ray, we're going to launch that investigation, so thanks so much for telling us. And then Ray's like, great, I'm going to go tweet to my followers. You think that's what Warner wanted? That's not how it works, guys. Like, when an investigation is done, that's usually done privately. Like, when Ellen's investigation happened, Ellen didn't come forward, or the producers didn't come forward and announce it for you guys. The media did that. The media leaked it. A press member leaked it. So, and Ray doesn't have anybody to leak it because no one's got his back on this. That's what's so frustrating. And look,
Fandom is trending.
Yeah.
Batman is trending, and and the Ray Fisher thing is trending along with it. Please stop. We fans deserve. Don't stop if you were wronged, but just hold up a little bit and let the law prevail, because that's, the systems are in there to put everything in proper place.
Right. Well said. It's like, look, if something happened, you got to tell us, or you got to wait until the investigation is complete so they can come tell us and they can do what's right. But this constant teasing and dropping of little things like time to raise, to boost Ray's story. I'm done with it. It's frustrating to me, and I can see through it. And the fact that he lied about Jody, and he is still yet to call out the truth about him and me and spread out this nonsense. I'm sorry, man. It really bothers me. So I'm going to keep calling him out just like he tries to call himself out. And I don't care what people come at us. I'm over it. This guy's a punk in my eyes, and it's frustrating because I'd love to support him. We had his back, and we don't. And this piece of it, every time a little piece drops, no one in this fan base wants to ask me questions. And that's the problem with today, with anywhere. And I take it out of fandom, take it out of comic books. Like, due process is important. If he's going through due process and investigation, then go through the investigation. Come back to us with the findings. And don't tell us it just launched today, 2 days before Fandom. Who believes that? You are a sheep. Hold on, Lewis. You are a sheep. If you believe that. You are following what he wants you to follow. #BorgLife. Go ahead, Lewis.
It's starting to look like if Joss Whedon made a movie everyone liked, this wouldn't be an issue, which is worse. So it's starting to look like, I didn't like Justice League, so I'm just going to believe any negative thing about anyone without due process. Let's do the due process. Maybe there's something there. But again, let the weekend go. There's a lot of children want to just enjoy the time together with their family watching it, whether or not you like the lineup or not. Let's just celebrate the these historic legendary gods among us, which are the DC characters.
Yeah. So enough about that, Chris. I mean, did you have anything you want to add on this topic, Chris? By chance, I'll let Lewis and I do it, but I want to make sure. Did you?
Not on the Yay Fisher thing. I'm just sick of it. Honestly, we have beaten this thing like a dead secretariat.
No, I don't look. I don't disagree. I don't want to, but I can't stand. I can't.
I understand.
Stand this blind nonsense where no one wants to have the guts to come step forward and be like, guys, hold on. There's more to this. So, thank you. You're right. Let's move on. Let's talk about the exciting parts, which is the Batman return. Let's go there. Now that I said it. Now, honestly, the last thing I'm going to say though, it does. I still believe. Why would you have announced this? I do believe someone at Warner's like, is he really at this again? Is he really going to drop this now? You know what? Drop that Batman scoop. Get it out. Go give it to somebody. Let's get that out there and get that trending so that way nothing can sort of take down this momentum we've got. Because honestly, that's what it feels like he's doing with the timing. And so it frustrates me. And I don't understand why more DC fans aren't seeing it. Like, wait till it's over. Do it next week. And so
as someone who's helped run large events, like, DC's probably pissed right now because there's so many logistical things they're worrying about. This is the last thing they want to worry about.
Correct.
Yeah, it messes. It's the brand is they're very worried about the brand and negativity and stuff like that. So that's that. Again, there's a lot of people. It's not just the rich people everyone's looking at that everyone loves to slam in Hollywood. There's the people, the PR that doesn't really get. They've been locked down. They haven't had any work. This is the first thing they're doing, and the regular men and women just like us that are struggling with the rent every day. So let them win. Give them the best shot. Let's talk about the fans. Let's talk about having fun. And I know we're talking about this as well, but it's because it's been put on the forefront. And let's just wait till after the event, Mr. Fisher, please.
Right, and just to echo, it's like you see, I see sites like Joe Blow and others like WarnerMedia is launching an investigation. No, that may not be true, guys. You got to do more homework. Did they really launch it, or did they launch one back then? Is a fair question, right?
If they did good, good, that's the legal way. It doesn't have to be tweeted, though.
Correct.
That's my thing.
Correct.
It doesn't have to be on Twitter. That's
everything's got. He's got to put everything on because accountability is greater than entertainment. Making sure that Ray Fisher gets what he needs is more important than fandom, is what he's saying. Is that not how you can translate that? Because fandom's entertainment. He's basically saying it.
Unfortunately, it's all going to get in the search engine. Ray Fisher, Cyborg, fandom, Snyder Cut, controversy. It all gets meshed up.
Yeah, he's trying to be Cyborg and exactly break the algorithm as Cyborg. But Batman, let's talk about Batman. So this news is exciting. I want to continue pivot over there to something more fun because I think this did get more fans, I think, pumped than not pumped from everything. I mean, of course, there's haters out there who needs him back and screw this one or that one. But from everything I'm looking around, it does feel like most people were like, damn, okay, I'm curious now. You've piqued my interest. What does this mean? What's going to happen? And I think bringing the Ben Affleck news back and knowing that it's a cameo, knowing that he's going to come in as sort of the that's the thing I learned. I mean, they sort of allude to it, I guess, in this article too. But before I read it, I was talking to my sources who confirmed, like, no, that he's in the beginning as sort of that anchor point to get him through there. And I think that's important. The article confirms that, so it's not like I had anything exclusive to it, but I can confirm, like, yes, this is legit, as the director's saying, and I think that's brilliant. I think it's really smart to have that sort of moment, because if we're keeping Ezra Miller Flash, which it sounds like we are, and honestly, we should until there's actually an accusation or something that comes out against him, aside from some weird video that we don't even know. What was it? Until then, there's nothing out there that I've seen complaint-wise, so he's in. And if he's the Flash, I think you absolutely need that Ben Affleck Batman to sort of at least be there to set the tone in the beginning. So I'm just glad Affleck's like happy to do it again. You know what I mean? I saw a lot of people saying, oh, it must be Ana de Armas who's made him happy or got him in there because he seems very happy with his new girlfriend. And who knows what actually caused it? But I mean, what do you guys think? Why do you think he's back? What do you think? Do you think it was just the script, the fact that he's like, you know what? I guess this would be a good way to end things. Lewis, let's go to you first. What do you think about this return and why it happened?
Man, as someone who is not really into Ben Affleck's Batman as much as most, this is awesome, man. It gave me chills knowing about it. Hearing about it, it tells me that DC has taken off the gloves and now are thinking of just using their full potential, right? And in regards to why Ben Affleck's doing it, it's not about money, because I think now it's like, hey, you know what? Everyone's asking him at every junket. Every movie he makes is like, are you going to return to Batman? Are you going to return to Batman? Well, here's a chance to just put the closure in there and give the fans, the ones who loved them, and there's a lot of them, a chance to say goodbye, a chance to give it closure. And that's awesome for Ben Affleck to do it. I don't even know if he really even likes doing it, if he wants to return to Batman or whatever, but give him props for doing it, because I don't think he's making a crap load of money for this. I don't think he's going to spend too much time on screen, but if he gives you just that little nod, that little goodbye to the people who did support him, that is awesome. And man, it gave me chills. And yes, he is the best looking Batman in the suit. He's a little chubby, but that's good because I'm chubby too. So it tells me I could be Batman.
He's getting in better shape. But yeah, no, you're right. It's a good opportunity. But a lot of now speculation. It's like, what if he has fun? What if it works?
Yeah.
Now, what if he's like, you know what? Maybe I do want to do my movie now. Maybe I'm back in a healthier place, and we've established the multiverse. Can he come back, Chris? What do you think?
Honestly, I think this is good. This is just a cameo. I think a lot of this had to do with people talking him into it, sort of like get Gal to talk to him, get Jason Momoa to talk to him, even get Michael Keaton to talk to him a little bit. And because I know when you're trying to bring a superstar, I'm going to use sports again just because it's the thing I know most about. When you try and get a superstar to come into your team, you get the other superstars on your team to call that superstar and kind of sell them on the team. So I think probably Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, some higher up like Geoff Jons, even Zack Snyder probably had a talk with him, say, hey, come back, get some closure, like you said. Do this for the fans and just be done with it and pass the torch to Pattinson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds that way, and which is big of him given that they pulled his movie, right? So for him to sort of come back and do it is telling. And look, I'm excited. I think it shows to me that the script must be decent enough to not only secure him again, but to actually get Michael Keaton to sign on the line finally, because he's been hesitating, to sign on for what I'm told is a multi-picture deal to come back as sort of the Nick Fury of this new multiverse. It gets me excited about this script, I'll be honest. There's a lot of potential there. And that opens up the next question I want to do before we wrap up this segment of the first half of the show. What else? Who else do we want back? Could Flashpoint allows them to do a lot of stuff. I mean, you could do so many amazing gags. I mean, he really could go to Lego Batman for a beat and just have a funny joke and then move into something else. I mean, do we think that would be funny? Do you think should they be like trying to get Christian Bale to show up for one more?
Yeah!
Is that blasphemous? Like at this point, like now with the multiverse, now we got two of them back. Do you figure out a way to do the Batman, and just figure it out and just have a justification for and beat Spider-Man to it? Because Spider-Man was supposed to have Tobey, Andrew, and Tom Holland do it. But man, imagine if Batman could beat them to it and do an iconic just Batman scene, just like whatever. I don't know. I guess it's probably going to be cheesy, but part of me is like, yeah, I kind of want to watch that. What do you think, Louis?
I've had a strong opinion about the Batman I like the most, and it's Christian Bale. And a lot of people, we have the debates, the nerdy debates about who's the best Batman and stuff. And Bale always gets his voice sounds weird. But wouldn't it be great if Christian Bale talks to Ben Affleck's Batman, and Ben Affleck's Batman, he's like, hey, man, Christian Bale's Batman's like, hey, I like that voice modulator. Could I check it out? And then he uses it. Done. Now he's got a cool voice. The multiverse stuff works perfectly, ladies and gentlemen. I know that some people are on the fence with it. It doesn't ruin any storyline. It actually enhances it, because now whatever you liked, if it was the Tim Burton Batman, if it was whatever, Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, whatever, it exists and it's awesome. I think it worked for the CW, which is underrated, and it's going to work here awesomely.
Yeah, I mean, to echo what you're saying, it does work, but at the same time, the only problem I have with it in like the CW verse is they have too many hours to fill, and so it resorts in a lot of redundancy where I'm just like, oh, another speedster. Oh, here's another.
Well, you
speedster.
have to have a focused storyline, right? And then you deviate to the side to maybe like, hey, wink, wink, Christian Bale, whatever, and then keep moving forward. Bane comes in from Nolan's universe, fights for the good guys for a while, or the heroes for a while, and then goes back to his, something like that. I'm not a writer, but probably be more exciting than what they what they make is probably gonna be more exciting than what I described. But yeah, it doesn't ruin anything, man. I think it's great.
There's also rumors that the Batman could be rated R. Do we think that's realistic? Do we think that's going to happen? What do you think, Lewis?
Joker was rated R, and there could be two versions. There could be one, the one on HBO Max that would be rated R, maybe, or something like that, or an extended cut. Again, I saw the pictures of Robert Pattinson's suit. If those are those are concept art, kind of like a cartoon thing I saw. That looks damn awesome to me, man. That looks like a wrecking machine. If they make him like blind with the white eyes, I'm sold.
Yeah, it's interesting. That since Joker did so well, could they say, you know what, let's take a shot? But at the same time, do they need to? I don't know. But if they want to go sort of more the Joker approach and go more dramatic and try and go more for the adult crowd, that's something. But I don't know. Batman is so iconic to so many kids. It's weird. You either got to go all the way or you don't, right? You got to keep it more there.
PG-13 is the Dark Knight trilogy is PG-13.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. To lose the teens, to seeing it would be a big deal.
Realistically, how many teens do we lose, or do they lose when
true.
a film is rated R?
Do
we know?
You're right. No, but they also probably, I'm sure, still go in to see the damn movie, right?
Yeah, I wish somebody would take some sort of like research. How many people sneak in? Because we keep thinking that they're not going to go because it's rated R.
They can't admit it happens.
Yeah, but what about all the parents that want to take their kids to Batman?
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable taking my nephew to a rated R Batman movie, but I know he would want to see a Batman movie.
Would you have taken him to see Logan?
No.
How old is he?
He is now 10.
Okay, it's right on the cusp. I would
going
say
on 10.
Once you hit 13, though, some parents are okay with it. If it's just some violence and some language,
a huge demographic by going lower than under
Correct.
13. While a PG-13, you could take a 10-year-old kid and feel okay with it. I mean, back in the day, it was a little different. Like, my parents let me watch Blade Runner when I was like 8.
Yeah.
So back then, back then it was a little different. Now though, just with the way the access to the media the kids have, I think limiting them to seeing a rated R Batman, they got to make it PG-13, at least for the theater. I like Lewis's idea of splitting it once it leaves the theaters.
Yeah, give us both. And also, if you're like a Latin parent like me, how we grew up is like violence, yay! The inside of a woman, yay! The side boob, no, we can't take them to that. So if it's sex, they show some side boob, no. If they show someone blowing up, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah,
don't tell me how that logic works.
The violence, yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't care about the violence or the language. It's just the sex stuff. I don't want my kids to know because they're still innocent and not understand all that shit. But anyway, back to this movie. Is there a Batman you want to see in this? I mean, I don't know. And we've already got 2. It's going to be problematic. Putting in Christian Bale feels like, why? How would you do that? If anything, I would rather do a George Clooney or a Lego Batman sort of jokey moment. You sort of get the what? What are you doing here?
Or Val Kilmer.
Yeah, if you got Val or George, even George, I think could pull it off, and it would be funny to me. And you could do it because I think you could do that in a funny, cool way, because to establish what's happening of these are all the work, and then you cut to a scene, just something whatever, the wrong universe. Who the hell are you? I would be fine with that if it was Lego Batman or like George Clooney or even Val. Although I know Val's like going through a lot of he's got throat cancer or something. Yeah. Probably harder for him to pull off, but it'd be pretty amazing if they could get one of them to show up. But do you guys have do you think it'd be fun to see another one, or do we have enough? Lewis, what's your stake?
I think we have enough right now. But then again, I'm not a great writer. It's up to the writer. If the writer could fit it in and it makes sense, and yeah, let's do it. Like I said, I like Christian Bale, but right now I don't think it fits in this film. There was a great scene in the CW's The Flash. What is it? The Speed Force. He was going through time. Speed Force right there. We saw all these things flashing beside him, and then we saw like a real quick image of the 1990s Flash, like real quick.
Yep.
And someone paused it, and then later on, 2 seasons later, he shows up. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. I mean, it's like a chills moment, man. So you could have maybe Christian Bale like that, but Christian Bale stuff is pretty much based more on realism and stuff, and it's going to have to be signed off by Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan has a lot of control over that Batman. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I would, and I bet you he's going to say no.
I don't know. That
think he
third
wants to be
Batman
in
was
there.
pretty comic bookish.
I don't know. It feels like he doesn't want to risk what he's built, into some sort of thing he does nothing. I don't know. But knowing all these other ones come back, to me, if I were Nolan, I'd be like, well, does Bale want to do it? Go ask him. Is Christian into it? Because I feel like Nolan seems like the type that would like if Christian asks, it's different than if Warner asks. You know what I mean? So I would feel like you got to go. But then Christian's gonna be like, well, does Chris want it? I feel like there's gonna be like a circle of who wants to see it. Lego Batman's or George is almost a funnier, safe one because then Ben Affleck can just go ask him like, "Hey, Clooney, come do this. Here's your chance," and have the nipples and all, like the stare at the nipple or something. There's something I don't know.
Let's talk about something you haven't really touched upon. Is Andy Muschietti?
Yeah.
He's a real good director, really good. Comes horror background with Guillermo del Toro and Mama. I believe he did that one.
Yeah.
And it chapter 1 was phenomenal. 2 not so much, but he followed the book. So the book, if you watch that movie, the inside joke throughout the entire movie was, well, Stephen King can't end movies or books, right? So he's going by the book. So he's more of a script guy. If you give him a good script, he's going to knock it out of the ball out of the park. That's my thing. So
yeah, and it chapter 1 was, I thought, really, it 1 was great. It's fantastic.
So good.
But even it chapter 2, like, well made, like without a doubt, it was well made. So I don't fault him exactly, but I agree. It was the material that he sort of lost his way in. So I don't, I'm not completely surprised that wouldn't have been his fault. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's good. I'm excited to see him do something else big like that. There's a lot of potential here to make this really, really good. And in success, right? He could get the keys to more stuff.
He's very respected. Therefore, maybe a Christopher Nolan will allow a Christian Bale Batman cameo.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe in the later ones. Yeah, so I think this is pretty exciting to know that Ben Affleck's back. And then what's interesting is if we establish this multiverse and Michael Keaton's in it, and that's sort of setting the tone, then what happens in future movies? Does that mean we get to actually cross-pollinate some of these other things, and you could do a Batman versus Batman, or the things go are unlimited at that point. If Michael Keaton's showing up,
DeVito
and beyond just
Nicholson.
even exactly moving beyond just Batman and Flash, like clearly if we're establishing Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne as a Batman and someone who's sort of overseeing the safety of the multiverse, which is kind of cool. Like they do in the Flash, where they're like monitoring it all and making sure they know what's going on. And he's sort of going through to find them all. If that's something they're actually doing, then there's so many possibilities of great. You could do a Aquaman with multiple Aquamans, right? Or you could do a Wonder Woman with Linda Carter meeting Gal Gadot, whatever. Some of those could be cheesy. You got to do them right. But yeah, even just the villains alone, you could exactly bring back Nicholson, even though it wouldn't happen, but bringing back Nicholson to take on Robert Pattinson.
DeVito might, though.
Yeah, there's Michelle Pfeiffer. There's a lot of... let's not just keep doing complete
DeVito's
nostalgia
character
plays.
was killed off in part 2, though.
Yeah, but it's multiverse.
He'd have to... Well, the timeline would have to be during Batman Returns.
That's true.
Yeah, because he became...
Joker's dead, too, then. Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Well, we could bring back Jared Leto.
Oh, God.
Right? He's still around.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer's dead too. Technically, Catwoman. Oh my gosh, Keaton's Batman killed.
You could bring back Jim Carrey's Riddler.
Who's Jim Carrey's?
Yeah,
Jim
I would
Carrey's
be
Riddler.
okay with that.
Apparently, Tommy Lee
Jim
Jones's
Carrey's Riddler?
Two-Face was going to be darker. It started like darker in the Joel Schumacher cut of Batman Forever. I don't know. I think we got to move forward.
Schwarzenegger is Freeze?
Well, I think it's an opportunity to play with Superman, right? Because I don't want Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. But if we got Henry Cavill and he resets it and suddenly we get a better Lex Luthor,
do you bring
sign
Kevin
me up.
Spacey in?
No. I mean, he's a villain now.
He is.
He does have a villain. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Here's what you could do with that. You bring Robin Lord Taylor from Gotham.
Oh, yeah. That's Cobblepot.
He's a good Penguin, like really good. So is the guy that played the Riddler. Let me see his name right here. The Corey Smith.
Yeah.
Michael Smith. Those guys could hang with
their chemistry was good too.
Yeah, and they could definitely. I could totally see them in a realistic Batman movie. Actually, they did pretty well, man.
Yeah.
Michael Caratui, thank you for dropping support tonight. Michael Keaton and Batman Beyond. We've talked about it. It's definitely a possibility now, right? I mean, what they could do with him is endless, but that's one I think most fans are actually very wanting to see. There was rumors, I think they're obviously rumors, but of Tim Burton coming back to try and do that. I don't think that's wise, as we said in one of our shows. But yeah, could they do a Batman Beyond now with older Michael Keaton, and then he finds you can mix up the show. I think you'd have to a bit to fit in this universe, but you could find the younger Batman Beyond character somewhere
Terry
else for him, the Terry character, like sort of find him and go there for some reason. So there's ways to make it work, I think. So yeah, I'm excited. And then it would be nice to finally have a Robin or something, or a Nightwing. There's other obviously characters you can jump around through in the Batverse to really make the multiverse pop, and have Michael Keaton's character make sense of why he's there. And it's nice because he doesn't have to jump in the suit. He could play just a Bruce Wayne, which I liked as Bruce Wayne. And I think I'll like him more older. Honestly, I think it'll play even better than he did. So yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, good point, Michael. Well, there you have it. All right, so that's the first topic. We're hanging with you guys live more for more topics and stuff. But I'm going to stitch this one out for YouTube's sake to get this one out there. Make sure to smash that like button if you haven't already, and join if you haven't, or just subscribe if you can. Thank you so much for watching us here live on Nerd Wars. We'll go for a little bit more. So if you're ever available on Thursday nights, join us 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the meanwhile, subscribe, and thanks so much for watching. Peace.